Alright, I am back again, and I saw something today that kind of put up some red flags for me. I need to go ahead and specify that I'm not directing this at any one group of civilians, any religious group or anything like that. This is solely and wholly directed toward governments. And the reason why I'm having to specify this is not directed toward any type of groups of people is I'm getting ready to say something critical of Israel's government, and anytime you do that, you run the risk of being labeled anti-Semitic and getting deplatformed and everything else, getting swatted and everything else, especially with this anti-Semitism awareness law bullcrap, where they're trying to make it basically illegal to say anything critical of Israel. This particular thing, and I have not looked into this in a while, I saw this when I was at lunch, and it's been a few hours since that, so there's a chance that there's been some updates to it. If so, I will have links in the description with any applicable updates. But basically, the Associated Press was doing a live broadcast in Gaza, and Israel pulled the plug on the live broadcast and seized the Associated Press's equipment, because they said that they were providing footage for Al Jazeera, who Israel shut down. This is my thoughts on it. Any government that seeks to control and censor the news media is not a friend of the people. To have a free society, you have to have a full freedom of the press. The press need to be free of the government's meddling. Otherwise, you don't have press, you have propaganda. And the people have to be able to be critical of the government. That's another component of being free, is the people have to be able to be critical of the government. And right now, Israel's government is trying to censor the crap out of the press. Anything negative about what they're doing, they're trying to shut down. They're trying to, Netanyahu came out and said that the United States needs to do something about anti-Semitism, and then, what do you know, they started pushing the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. Tell me you're a puppet government of another entity without telling me that. Now, whether the United States government was acting solely at the bequest of Israel's government, or there's another group that's behind the scenes pulling all the strings of the world's governments, I'll let you think I'll constipate on that one. It still is very worrisome to me. But hey, the United States Supreme Court says we can't do anything that would put in too much of a burden on the United States government in regards to the First Amendment. Gotta love that. The fact of the matter is, getting back on topic, the way Israel's government, I'll just I have to be specific. I would love to shorten it down and just say Israel, but I have to say Israel's government keeps from running afoul hopefully keep from running afoul. But the way Israel's government is handling things with Gaza is not what a lot of people, myself including, are saying. It's gone too far. And a lot of people have been very open about the fact that Israel has had the right to defend themselves when Gaza did their attack. I'll be the first to say, yes, they had the right to defend themselves. But at what point do we start saying they're taking it too far? And I think we have crossed that line. We crossed it a long time ago. It's just everyone is too afraid to come out and say it. I mean, heck, I'm not saying anything anti-Semitic. I'm not saying anything inflammatory or anything else. There is a good chance that this video will get flagged, will get a strike, and I will have to appeal it. And that's just from the YouTube AI. That's not including if someone came along and reported it. Just because of the nature of what I'm saying. And that's with me specifying my issues are with Israel's government. So being specific on that. Because whether you like it or not, it does appear as though Israel's government is acting in a way that could be considered genocide. They have been called out questions of possible war crimes on what they're doing. So this is the type of thing that they're wanting to shut down and censor. And this is the type of thing people need to be able to speak out about. This is the type of thing that the government, the media needs to be able to report on. And it's the exact same thing that everyone's trying their damnedest to shut down. So I'm running the risk, like I said, of running afoul myself, possibly even get my channel zapped. Even though I'm not saying anything remotely anti-Semitic, even though I'm not saying anything about anything other than questioning a government's actions, I run the risk of having my channel zapped for it. And when you think about that, when you think about the amount of clout and power on the sharing of information the governments have and are seizing and trying to seize every single day, it's a bit unnerving. There's all these memes you see about George Orwell, Mr. 1984, and he's reading a book on 2024, and he's just absolutely horrified. Or how 1984 was supposed to be a warning, not a blueprint. You see things like that, and you want to laugh. But I'll take a line from Sheldon Cooper on The Big Bang Theory. It's funny because it's true. And sometimes you have to laugh just to keep from losing what little bit of your mind you've got left, because it's when you sit back and you actually think about it, it's actually kind of horrifying. It's depressing. It's infuriating. It's a whole host of things, and none of which are positive. You have governments seeking to censor what you can say, what the media says, what you can own, especially firearms, because that's the great equalizer. You have all this stuff. They want to control what you put in your body. You use you as guinea pigs. I don't know what's more disturbing to me, or upsetting, or infuriating, etc. The fact that they've obtained so much power, the fact that they're seeking more and more power, or the fact that more people are not pissed off and trying to put a stop to it. I mean, with the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, what was it? Was it Nadler? There was a high-profile Democrat that called, said that this is going too far, and Marjorie Taylor Greene said it. So when you have some Democrats agreeing with her, that should say something. When you have Marjorie Taylor Greene questioning something that is arguably pro-Israel, I cannot talk today, as this seems to be, that should tell you something. Right now we're in a very, very unsettling time. And if there was ever a time we needed to be able to be informed about what's going on, the whole truth in its entirety, and have freedom to express our thoughts and to share that information, if ever there was a time for that, right now would be it. And our governments are trying feverishly to try and prevent that. And if ever there was a time to be ready to possibly even revolt against your governments, I know this will probably get me flagged too, if there's ever a time to be prepared to do so, I think we're past that. We're at that point. We need to be prepared to accept the fact that our governments, not just the United States, but around the world, are not acting necessarily in the best interest of the people. Whose interests exactly, I'll let you decide. I don't feel like, being in a plane accident, even though I don't fly. I haven't been in a plane since 2007. I don't want to have that happen. I don't feel like waking up tied to it, having a situation of waking up unalive, tied to a tree, deemed by suicide from a shotgun, or multiple shots to the back of the head, stuff like that. I don't feel like having that happen, so I won't say my thoughts on it. But no, it's not the Clintons. They're just puppets too. But I do believe our governments are not acting in our best interest, haven't been in quite a while, and we need to be prepared to defend ourselves from our own governments. It's not just the United States, that's a worldwide thing. Let me know what you think. I know I kind of got off topic and it got kind of dark and real pretty dang quick. I'll throw some links, link down below to the story regarding the Associated Press. Let me know what you think. Maybe YouTube won't take my channel down, and maybe if someone actually comments, I will actually receive a notification that I've forgotten a comment. I've had a few incidences where people have commented and I stumbled on the comments by accident. Not sure why I'm not getting the notifications, but I'm not. Or not reliably getting them. Anyway, later.